Leisha held her cheeks, completely flustered, her face turning red. Wow, he's getting bolder by the day, she thought shyly. He kissed me once at home during dinner, and now he just kissed me in the office like it's nothing? You bad guy. Embarrassed, she quickly turned around and ran off, cheeks flushed, yelling over her shoulder. Shen Yuan, you're such a bad student. Right after Liexia left, Shen Yuan's phone rang. It was Chen calling, her voice a little rushed. Shen Yuan, are you still at school? Miss Lin left something at the cafe. She's on her way there now, but Xiao and I are too far to help. Could you open the door for her? Shen Yuan replied casually, Sure. No problem. A few minutes later, Shen Yuan arrived at the cafe and unlocked the door for Miss Lin. She looked a bit awkward and said, Thanks, Shen Yuan. I left some kids' toys here last time and totally forgot to bring them back. It's all right, he smiled. Not a big deal. He flipped on the lights to help her find what she needed. Lin Yu Chang started gathering the toys, muttering to herself, These were all from the kids. They always forget their things. As she moved from one item to another, Shen Yuan just stood nearby, quietly watching her and enjoying the moment. No rush, he said warmly. Take your time. How old's your kid? She dropped the toys into her bag and replied, 3.5. Very mischievous. Shen Yuan's gaze shifted to a bottle of wine on the counter. Wine? Does Miss Lin often come here alone to drink? He wondered. After finishing up, Lin Yu Chang looked around the cafe nostalgically. Shen Yuan noticed her expression. Something wrong? He asked gently. You look a little sentimental. She lightly ran her fingers over a nearby table and said, It's not that I don't want to leave. This place was with me through so many days and nights. It brings back memories. He could sense there was more behind her words. It must have something to do with Zheng Shanyong, he thought. She wouldn't come here alone to drink if everything was okay. You can always come back and visit, he offered with a smile. She shook her head. I probably won't be back. As she turned to leave, Shen Yuan stopped her. Miss Lin, if you don't mind, would you like to have a drink with me? She turned back, hesitating. Would that be appropriate? Shen Yuan shrugged lightly. Why not? They exchanged a quiet understanding and sat down at one of the nearby tables. Lin Yu took out the bottle and they poured themselves a glass each. Shen Yuan raised his glass and asked gently, Rough night? I'm guessing family troubles? She looked at him in surprise. How'd you know? He leaned back and said casually, I actually know your husband, Zheng Shanyong, right? Director of the Forest store. I've heard a few things. Chen was one of his employees. She left because of him. Didn't she? Lin Yu looked stunned. A flicker of realization passed across her face. So, they... Shen Yuan clinked glasses with her and said, Honestly? It's not that complicated. Zheng Zhanyong kept harassing her. Chen couldn't take it anymore, so she left. Lin Yu took a long sip of her wine. Her voice low, she finally opened up. I've actually been planning to divorce him. I've collected tons of evidence. His affairs, him threatening his employees, all of it. She held her head in her hands, visibly in pain. When I married him, I had no idea he'd turn out like this. But he's still the father of my child. I keep hesitating. I don't want my kid growing up with issues from being in a single-parent home. Shen Yuan leaned in, speaking calmly but firmly. You need to make a clear decision. Yes, kids are important, but keeping them in a toxic environment causes way more harm. Do it for yourself and for your child. Lin Yu looked at him, wide-eyed, as if something just clicked. You're right. That actually makes a lot of sense. She stared at him, thinking, he's younger than me, but so composed. Even charming in a way Zheng Shanyong never was. As she sat across from him, her face gently flushed from the wine, Her heart began to feel lighter. They say never judge a man by his looks. But hey, being around a handsome guy definitely doesn't hurt. She looked at him and whispered, "Thank you, Shen Yuan." He smiled humble. "No need to thank me." After finishing their drinks, Lin Yu stood up. "Let's go." Shen Yuan stood with her. "Yeah." But suddenly her legs gave way. Probably the alcohol. She stumbled sideways and Shen Yuan rushed over to catch her. "Careful," he said, holding her gently. Lin Yu looked up, embarrassed. "Sorry." Shen Yuan smiled. "Miss Lin, there's nothing to apologize for." But in his head, he couldn't stop thinking, "Wow, she smells amazing." Out of nowhere, Lin Yu tiptoed and kissed him on the cheek, catching him completely off guard. Then she picked up her bag and left without another word. He stood there stunned, watching her walk away. What just happened? A kiss? Wait, shouldn't something more happen after that? On her end, Lin Yu was practically speed-walking down the street, face red, patting her cheeks. What the hell got into me? I've stayed proper for so many years. The most I've done is handle things myself when needed. But that man, Zheng Sanyong, is so weak and useless. Still, what was I thinking just now? Meanwhile, Shen Yuan was still feeling light and floaty. He picked up his phone and called Chen. "Hey, Chen, the dorm's locked up. Mind if I crash at your place tonight? Renting a room just feels like a waste of money. Don't worry, I won't try anything. Just want to cuddle." 20 minutes later, Chen opened the door wearing thin pajamas, eyes widening when she saw him. "Oh my God, how much did you drink?" Shen Yuan leaned against the doorframe, grinning lazily. "Banquet with the school leaders." Chen shook her head, clearly concerned. "All right, sit down and rest for 10 minutes first, then go shower. I'll make you some hangover tea." After just a few steps, Chenor suddenly felt Shen Yuan wrap his arms around her from behind. He murmured softly, "Wait, let me hold you for a bit. I just want to hug you. Just hug." But Shen Yuan's hands slowly began wandering. Chenor blushed, flustered. "Is this your idea of just hugging?" Shen Yuan grinned, a little too boldly. "I'm just hugging. I won't do anything, I swear." Chenor gave him a look. "You know me. You know my boundaries." Flashes of their past filled her mind. The first time he tricked her with the excuse of just going up for a glass of water. The second time, he used training as an excuse. And now? Just hugging? This excuse was the weakest of them all. She rolled her eyes and muttered, "Your character? You still think you have character?" Shen Yuan replied innocently. "Chen, don't you trust me even a little?" Chenor blushed and sighed. "Fine. But you said it. You sleep with that blanket. Even if it's just hugging, you can do that from your side of the bed, with your own blanket." Shen Yuan looked at her, all wrapped up like a burrito in her blanket. He couldn't help but smile. Even if she pretends to resist, he thought, deep down, I think she's already accepted me. Still, she was keeping her distance tonight, but the night was long, and there were still plenty of ways to get closer. Suddenly, Shen Yuan sneezed loudly. Startled, Chenor sat up. "What's wrong?" she asked anxiously. He curled up and muttered pitifully, "It's cold. Too cold." Panic flashed across her face. "The air conditioner?" "Let me adjust it." She hopped out of bed, but before she could reach the remote, Shen Yuan grabbed her arm gently and said, "No need for all that." He pulled her into his arms, his bare skin pressing against hers. "If we sleep under the same blanket," he whispered, "it won't be cold anymore." Chenor gasped as he embraced her from behind. Words failed her, but her body didn't resist. Shen Yuan whispered happily, "See? Not cold anymore." The rest of the night passed, in heated silence. The next morning, Shen Yuan slowly opened his eyes, feeling completely relaxed. But the bed beside him was empty. All that was left was a small note in Shanor's handwriting. I've gone to the cafe, you dirty thing. I washed your clothes, but they're still not dry, so I bought you a new outfit. Breakfast is in the steamer. If you're cold, heat it up again yourself. Shen Yuan smiled warmly, feeling his heart melt. Damn it, he thought. Where do you even find girls like this? I need to do something for her. I should reward her. I should get her a gift card or something. Just then, his phone rang. On the screen popped up Liu Minglu, curvy, confident, and straight up hot. She smirked through the camera. When are you coming to gym with me? I'm waiting. Shen Yuan immediately put the phone face down and closed his eyes tight. What the hell, man? Why do I have to see this first thing in the morning? This woman, my best friend, she's seriously dangerous. But the teasing didn't stop there. Liu Minglu pressed her generous chest against the camera and purred. Why'd you move the phone away? What's wrong? Scared I might eat you? Shen Yuan cracked one eye open, muttering to himself, God damn it.
Hello friends, sorry for taking your time again, but if you are enjoying this story explanation, then please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, and share. Thank you.